Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds. Today, we're doing something new, a tier list.
We're ranking every plane that we've been to in Magic in a tier list.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Do you enjoy systematic rankings of things? Because we're doing that now in a different form than how we did it in the past.
Yes, this is a tier list. A tier list is awesome. And besides, you want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% less likely to be in poop tier.
Disclaimer guy here. We don't actually need disclaimer because the only one using poop tier is Nitpicking Nerds, and they're not going to put you in poop tier.
Don't hit your leg when disclaimer guy's going.
It was itchy. I'm sorry. So what are we actually doing? So we've got, we don't know how tier lists work. S tier, top tier, best of the best. A tier, rock solid, couple points for improvement. B tier, above average. C tier, average. D tier, below average. What is poop tier?
Poop tier is the worst of the worst. These are the planes that we never want to visit again.
Right, so what are we actually going to judge them by? Because we've got, how many planes we got down here? 6, 12, 18, 22?
The stories that took place on them, okay. What's on the plane,
cards,
tribes in the plane, cool cards from that are evolved around the plane. There's a lot of things.
Maybe how much we want to go back.
How much we want to go back and how much we don't want to go back. We'll talk about basically the sets are going to matter a lot too. For if the set was really crappy, we're not going to want to go back to that plane.
Right. So we weren't fond of it. This is obviously subjective, but this is going to be the official tier list.
Are you ready to use magical powers? We shrunk. And now there's a tier list up there.
Wow.
And it's much bigger.
That is very high tech.
Okay. Yeah.
It's also right here.
It's also right in front of us.
Which is why there's a giant computer in the middle of the thing.
So we're going to start, and we're just going to do them. What order do we want to do them in?
I think just kind of whatever order. I'll kind of be the guy in chair over here. And then as long as you can see.
Okay. I can see.
Okay. That's good, is that you can see. Why don't we start off with Amonkhet?
Amonkhet. Wow. So Amonkhet, This is the plane where Nicol Bolas took over and kind of took over all the gods, and it's an Egyptian theme. I gotta say, I'm
pretty high on this because maybe if Nicol Bolas had never come here, I wouldn't care as much, but he did. We can't examine the universe where he didn't. He came down, brainwashed everybody, killed all the adults, let all the kids grow up into people who worshipped him. He brainwashed a bunch of gods. How cool is that?
Not that cool.
To raise an army.
I don't really like this at all. I'll be completely honest.
What would you give it?
I would give it a C.
A C. I think I would give it a B.
I think it's about.
I think we might maybe that's a C.
It's an average. It's just an average plane. I wish the thing that really makes me not high on this plane is it's based around Egyptian culture, and they did almost nothing with Egyptian culture.
That's fair. There's pyramids.
Yeah, there's pyramids
and gods.
Brick counters is one of the stupidest things ever.
Oh, brick counters was so bad.
So stupid. Exert has nothing to do with Egypt. And what is the other mechanic? One of them had something to do with it. Oh, Embalm did.
Embalm was cool.
Embalm was the only mechanic.
Eternalized too.
Eternalized wasn't though.
Well, Eternalized was the Megamorph to Embalm.
Yeah,
where it's like, really?
It's just the same thing.
Okay. Let's go to a weird one. Arabian Nights. The plane of Arabia.
Yeah, the plane is called Arabia, and I don't know much about Arabia, but not much happened on Arabia.
They based the whole set, Arabian Nights, on the book. I think it was like 1,000 and something, whatever, Arabian Nights. I don't actually know what the book was called.
Okay.
All in all, I mean, this is a pretty quick one, right? Like just D tier.
Yeah, it's not poop. It's not completely horrible. It's not the worst plane I've ever been to. But
there wasn't much done.
I don't want to go there.
I can't tell you one card from Arabian Nights right now if I try to.
Aladdin's
High
Ring. Market.
Oh yeah, High Market was
I don't know,
something else. Or High Market was Mercadian Masks.
Oh,
so let's travel over to the plane of Mercadia.
So Mercadia is another one. Yeah,
it's got High Market on it.
Does it have High Market on it?
Yeah,
I still think it's Arabia.
I think it does.
Whatever.
The set symbol is the mask.
The set symbol is the mask. We got Brainstorm here. I know that.
Oh yeah, wow.
What happened on Mercadia?
Not a whole lot. I think it was one of the Weatherlight cruise pit stops.
Yeah,
and what they were doing. I feel like honestly, just another D tier.
It fits right around Arabia, where this plane doesn't have anything special about it or great that makes it really cool, but it's there. It's not poop tier. It's not the worst.
Yeah, we're kind of just picking these at random. Let's do Lorwyn / Shadowmoor next.
Okay, this is an easy S tier for me.
I think I'm more inclined to give it an A, but maybe S. It's got the Great Aurora happening thanks to Una, the fairy queen, and it just every 1,000 years or 10,000 years or something, everyone on the plane just gets completely flipped to the opposite of what they are.
Yeah, wherever their views are, they basically flip flop to the opposite. I think this is one of the coolest planes we've ever been to.
We'll throw it on us.
There's a lot of cool tribes here. There's not a lot of we don't see a lot of humans on this plane, right? Is there any humans?
There's none.
There's no humans on this plane. I love that about this.
That's
plane.
true. That is a huge selling point. Oh, we gotta let the consumers relate to something on the plane.
Who cares?
There
There's
has
a lot
to be humans. Like every other creature type is humanoid.
I mean,
I can't relate to an elf or a Kithkin. Like really,
an elf, a Kipkin, they're all the exact same thing. They're all humanoid. I mean, even like a Gorgon is just pretty much a human. So they're all the same.
A goblin is still like I can still relate to a goblin.
Yeah, because I can relate to being stupid. I can definitely relate to that.
Let's move over to Kylam, aka the Battle Bond plane. This is basically just probably some great universe, but they have an arena, so we don't focus on anything else. There's one arena, so we don't focus on the rest of the whole plane.
Yeah, I don't know. This falls into C tier.
I feel like the art brings it down to D tier, personally.
I don't think I'm not going to let the art affect the plane.
All right.
I think it's C tier. I think it's just an average
This plane
plane.
looks very cartoony.
This plane just is. All we know about this plane truly is that there's an arena where people battle with partners. There's not much, and we don't know much more than that. Maybe there's something interesting on this plane. Maybe there's some unique aspect, but I don't know. Completely being focused on that, nothing. There's nothing to there. Average.
Right.
C.
Average. How about Tarkir, which gave us the Khans of Tarkir, Sarkhan time traveling to get Ugin back, and then Dragons of Tarkir.
I think I would give this an A.
An A. I'm so in for A. Not only was this just one of the most enjoyable sets to play in Constructed and Limited, I loved the clans. The clans were a huge introduction.
I love that they gave us a naming system for the
wedge shards, whatever you call them.
The wedge shards. They're wedges.
The shard wedges.
They give us for the wedges. This was a super important set. There's lots of cool story and lore on the plane about how the dragons were originally killed. They were brought back and how they rule over again. It's a great story. There's nothing wrong with this plane at all either. It's not perfect. I don't see it as Lorwyn styles where it's like, wow, the Great Aurora is what takes that to the next level. There's nothing like that.
Well, I think maybe if it was Khans of Tarkir and then Dragons of Tarkir, it might have been better. This was one of the ones that I think suffered from the three set structure.
Oh, geez.
Where it's just like, Fate Reforged. It's here too.
Yeah, Fate Reforged kind of sucked.
Yeah, Fate Reforged was pretty mediocre. Let's move to, what did I want to do? Oh, Tempest. The set Tempest, which is the plane of Wrath. So Dominaria was being merged with Wrath in the Wrathy overlay during the Phyrexian invasion / war. And Dominaria was kind of like Wrath was appearing just on top.
So what's your opinion on this one? Where would you put
really probably just like a B. I don't see too much. Furnace of Wrath gives you a good idea of what Wrath is. I think it's like this fiery furnace type plane.
But so realistically, what do we get out of this plane? What is cool about this plane?
There's a little, so you see this, the set symbol is a storm cloud. So
Okay.
maybe we should move it to more of a dead average.
It's not. It's average. Okay, it's not like it's no Mercadia mask. It's no.
No, I think it's better than those two.
Okay, so it's average. It's in wherever Battle Bonds.
Maybe it's in low C tier.
Amonkhet. Yeah, I mean it doesn't seem. There's nothing that interesting to me. Basically, it was merging with Dominaria. Woohoo!
Yeah,
that's what we got.
It's a like furnace type planey. Ixalan is next. You might remember from Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan, two of the least interesting sets I've ever played.
Ixalan the plane isn't that bad. It's
the
interesting that
dinosaurs, conquistador vampires, merfolk, and what was the last one? There was one more.
For tribes, pirates.
Pirates. Duh.
Yeah. So we have all those little tribes. They're kind of together.
Yeah, the elevator pitch was like pirates and dinosaurs and vampire conquistadors. It's okay.
It's completely fine. I think this.
In terms of playability, this set's like an F. But I don't know what you want to give it because the story was like okay.
I don't know. The story kind of sucks. I'm kind
of like because even the Immortal Sun was just another stupid MacGuffin for Bolas to get.
I mean, other than the fact that this plane has dinosaurs,
Vraska as a pirate was kind of cool.
I don't know. I thought it was awful. I'm on D. I'm on D or poop.
I mean, I don't like Ixalan, but I don't think it's quite poop tier. Like, I think if Arabia is not poop tier, then Ixalan is not poop tier.
I don't know.
How about all right. Speaking of poop tier, Ulgrotha.
I don't
from Homelands.
Okay, this plane doesn't matter at all.
I think we're gonna chuck this straight into the poop tier. Yeah, Homelands gave us literally nothing at all.
Talk about one of the dumbest names for a plane. Ulgrotha.
It matched the name. The ugliness of the name matches how much I care about it.
It's pretty awful.
Old growth, though.
I have no want, care, or need for this plane.
Yes.
Get it out of here.
I am very much with you. Let's move to a recent one, Ikoria. I am doing these in absolutely no order whatsoever.
Yes, we are absolutely just doing these in random order. Ikoria is totally fine. This one is, it's a plane of monsters. My main problem with this is like, we're going to a plane of monsters. We're focused on big, huge monsters. Build your own monsters. One of the main tribes is humans.
One of the main tribes is humans, and mutate wasn't that good.
I like this personally, but...
Well, let me tell you the story, because I just learned the story of Ikoria, and it is not what you thought it was.
Okay.
So based on the book, right? So Luca is the main character, and his fiance is Jarina, the general's daughter. And the general's like, oh, there's been monster attacks, and they're stronger and stronger, and we got to be prepared. And then Luca leaves, and he meets up with Vivian pretty early on, and then he accidentally bonds with that flying tiger thing, which does not have a name. Luca never, so he bonds with it, and then some weird stuff happens, and people get shuffled around. But basically, Luca, an unknown planeswalker, who we don't know, does something weird with the Ozolith that gives Luca the power to control monsters. And he wants to use the monsters to help General Kudro fight off the monsters that you can't bond with. And Kudro's like, no, because for the past thousands of years, monsters have been just killing us. Like that bonding thing was like, that's happening for weeks, not years or anything.
Oh, so it just started.
It just started happening because of whoever like ignited the Ozolith.
Oh, okay.
So then Luca gets like pissed off, and he gets all salty, and he starts going crazy. Like he just goes insane, and he starts using the monsters to like invade the city, and he like kills a couple guards. He stabs General Kudro to death himself. Jarina was originally supposed to execute Luca, but she like defied her father and like said no. And then the flying tiger ends up dying. I don't remember who kills it. It might have been Kudro, but it was not the way that it's showed on the card.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's them or us. It was something else. And Luca doesn't care.
Oh,
Like the flying tiger saved Jarina's life, and Luca just kind of doesn't care. He just turns into like this psycho. I forget what exactly happens. I think somebody like they might destroy the Ozolith, and it like makes Luca lose his mind, and then his spark ignites and he leaves. I thought he was a planeswalker the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's just a quick like that was way too much information, but the story is like Luca's the bad guy
I guess.
and the main character. Like okay, so what are you thinking?
I was thinking B
C?
tiers.
B or C?
I was thinking Bs. I was thinking monsters, cool, big. I don't like the human aspects of the plane, but I love that there's just big, huge monsters everywhere in this plane. I love that humans are
And the
bonded
fact
with
that
monsters.
they can mutate.
Yeah,
They can just turn into other stuff like right in front of you.
I love that. Like there's a shark coming out of the water with arms.
And legs.
I'm gonna grab you.
And legs.
Watch out for that guy.
Watch out for his shark legs. Let's do Alara next. I've been avoiding that one. It's the first one. First plane that I was introduced to.
Yes. Now
There are 5 shards. It's Bant, Grixis, Esper, Naya, and Jund. And they're all, it's like 5 mini planes because they got separated. And then Nicol Bolas comes in and starts the conflux, which is shoves them all together. And then Alara Reborn is like, oh, shoot, we're all shoved together. And the Grixis zombies start leaving and killing everybody. And the Naya people, I think, are trying to like sequester themselves. And then Bant is trying to fight off with all the Grixis stuff going on.
and every card is gold.
Every card in that set was gold, and they've never done it before, and they might not ever do it again. It was sweet.
How can you draft that? That's gotta be a rough
It was a
draft.
crazy draft. I heard people liked it because it wasn't. I think it was the draft format was like shards, Alara Reborn,
Okay.
I think, or something. So the Alara Reborn wasn't like, okay, build this deck.
Okay, I was thinking. It's
not how we do it now.
Now.
No, I like this a lot. Johnny ends up beating Nicol Bolas, which Wizards doesn't like talking about because apparently it wasn't supposed to happen. Or
I mean, Johnny has to say, "I basically cheated."
yeah, because he could just do it again.
Yeah. Otherwise, he would just do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
So where do we want to move this? I'm thinking A or B.
I was thinking A.
Yeah, I like A.
I like shards. I think that.
I mean, we talk about cons, creating the wedges. This created the shards like 2008.
Yeah, this plane is spread into 5 different things. It's 5 different planes essentially, but
Well, not
they get
anymore.
pushed together into one giant plane. I would love to revisit the Alara, honestly.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be that bad. Maybe it gets separated again. Let's go to Kamigawa next.
Kamigawa. Okay, this is interesting because like the lore of Kamigawa is very good and it's very flavorful to ancient Japanese
like mythology and
folklore. Yeah. Folklore.
It's cool. It's got what is that guy's name? The white legendary creature who goes insane. What's his name? Kanda.
Kanda. Yeah.
Right. He goes insane. And he starts a war with the kami, the spirit creatures, and then that's basically the whole arc.
There's a huge arc in there. He's one of the white bad guys.
Yeah, Elishnor. Well, there's got Elishnor and Heliod and him. I think are the main ones.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many.
Right. So where do we want to throw Kamigawa? Because I hate the sets so much.
I was thinking B because I'm thinking it's
this is that much of a
I mean, maybe
recovery.
C. Maybe it's more of an average.
I think it might just be average. If the cards were good, it'd probably be like an A.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get anything out of the set. If we revisit, maybe they can make the set actually interesting.
Well, what were they saying? I heard it like because I saw Lorwyn. People were talking about like, we went to Eldraine. We're never going to Lorwyn.
Oh,
maybe that might be a thing. So Conspiracy is home to the plane of Fiora, or Fiora's home to Conspiracy. That's got Marchesa, Brago, Kaya.
It's got a whole
bunch of cool characters. Grenzo, Selvala.
It's basically everybody is fighting for the crown on this plane.
It's all underhanded politics and like assassination attempts and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the marketing for this set, for sure.
I like Fiora a lot. I think it's really high. I put it at B.
I put it at A or B.
See, I'm putting it at B because I don't think it's quite as good as Alara or Khans.
That's fair.
It's right around the level of Ikoria, where I think the plane is a really cool concept, and we get some cool cards out of it.
And characters.
But then on the side of, like, I don't know.
You know what? It's tough.
It's not too in-depth.
Half of the cards are complete blanks because they're random reprints.
Yeah,
because it's supposed to be this set, and then it's like, here's the 3/4 flyer for 6 with island cycling, and there's the whole cycle. It's like those cards obviously suck and are not interesting. Maybe they're good for the draft format, but like
on top of that, another problem with Conspiracy is the draft format was made for.
It was an 8-player game.
Nope, a 4-player game.
A 4-player game.
It was made for 4-player games, and they had conspiracies.
They asked a little too much of you. Conspiracies are unusable.
Yeah.
Do they have to be banned everywhere because they're not? Or is it just the zone doesn't exist?
And there's certain cards from the set that don't even have real text. Like, you pick a color before the game or when you draft it or something like that.
Because it can't be put in the conspiracy zone. It has no text. Like, Regicide, which is an awesome, like, can't believe they wasted a Regicide on a card you can never play anywhere.
Yep.
The name.
Yeah, Regicide's a badass card name.
Oh, it's so cool. Let's go to Zendikar next.
Zendikar next? Okay. If we talk about the original Zendikar and only the original Zendikar and not the revisit of Zendikar, it's an S. But
Zendikar, Worldwake, Rise was amazing. Even the middle set, which always sucked, Worldwake was really cool.
Yeah.
Also, Jace the Mind Sculptor was in that set.
Yeah, that's true. So my main issue here is we've revisited Zendikar with BFZ and what was the other set?
What? Oh, Oath of the Gatewatch.
Oath of the Gatewatch. So we revisited with those two, and those sets sucked.
So Oath of the Gatewatch I thought was pretty interesting. Battle for Zendikar was one of the worst. Like, if we ever do another underwater box opening, it might be Battle for Zendikar.
Is there any value to be had in that set? I don't even know.
Yeah. Boxes are $200. Remember, that's when they introduced the lottery tickets.
Oh.
Because they knew the set was garbage.
Yeah.
And had no value. Like, Ulamog, Gideon, Omnath. And that's it. Like, that set was awful.
That set's a little scary to open.
At least Oath of the Gatewatch brought together, like, that was the first time we saw the Justice League. Kozilek's cooler than Ulamog. Wastes was interesting, and it was a cool. And all of the Eldrazi didn't suck. Like, the rare ones and even some of the uncommon ones, it wasn't like, in just one, this creature is colorless. It was like, okay, this is just a colorless thing. Like Thought-Knot Seer, Matter Reshaper, Reality Smasher.
Yeah, so I could see the argument, but I think Zendikar is...
So BFZ sucked so bad. So let's say BFZ was poop. Oath was like a C or a D, and the other three were S's.
Well, here's the real issue. Here's what I'm really seeing as... Yeah, I would say the original 3 visits were S's, but also the Eldrazi do a huge thing for that, and as a plane... The Eldrazi just happened to be there at the time.
The Eldrazi would spice up anywhere they were.
Yeah, so I would give this a B because I think
bump down to a B.
I think Zendikar itself isn't that interesting of a plane.
Well, let me tell you, I don't want to go back in the fall. I don't. What are we gonna do? Print quests again? I guess.
It's like I don't think it's that interesting of a plane. I think it's
seriously. What story purpose could we have to go back? I don't understand.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Eldrazi I think is the one thing that Zendikar had, and they don't have a real tie to the plane, so that's why I'm going with
also,
B.
2 of them are gone.
2 of them are
in
dead.
One of the worst. I don't know what you call it.
One of them,
a plot twist. Like
and the other one's on Innistrad.
Yeah, the other one's locked away, and those two are dead. So what is Zendikar? Oh, it's healing. Every card is a forest. Like, okay, whatever, man. Let's go to Invasion, the set, which was the original Phyrexia. That's where we visited Phyrexia.
So this is where
Phyrexia is an artificial plane, by the way.
Yeah, created by Yawgmoth, correct?
I think so. One of those people.
Oh, well, created by the Phyrexians or whatever.
Right.
It's basically all non-humanoids. I think what's it called again?
The set Invasion.
It's just Phyrexia, right? This is
The set is Phyrexia. There's like the spheres of Phyrexia, kind of like the layers of it as you go down into the core of it.
Yeah.
You can there's different stuff there. I think it was fine. Maybe like a B.
See, I was more on S, so let's go with A.
Okay, you were on S. All right. So yeah, the Phyrexians themselves, are amazing, but I would argue.
And they created their own plane.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Well, I think they just kind of took over a plane, and then
doesn't matter.
But then again, I think Karn made his own plane. Do you know what that was called? It was Mirrodin.
We never. Oh yes.
Yeah. So the Mirrodin is currently occupied. So we're gonna lump it together with New Phyrexia. So New Phyrexia's history happens to be that the plane used to be called Mirrodin. So that's all lumped together.
So yeah, Mirrodin used to be a plane created by Karn, and it was a fine plane. There was nothing really. It wasn't crazy or like the best plane.
Was it Memnarch that went insane because Karn left Memnarch to watch the plane? So Memnarch just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to abduct 1 million people and put them on this plane. And then also the 5-sun thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
Everything's an artifact. Like all the humans have like artifacts. They're like artifact creature human.
And now we have New Phyrexia because Karn didn't wipe his feet.
That is New Phyrexia is like the coolest thing to me. Easy S.
Yeah, easy S.
Easy S. Elishnorn, the Praetors was one of the best cycles they've ever done.
I mean, it's a creative plane that was fine and had problems, but then now it's Phyrexia. It's the rebirth for the Phyrexians.
Let's look at every single one of these. When do the bad guys win? Oh, New Phyrexia. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, I guess the Luca kind of won. I guess
he got defeated. He just killed General Kudro. He wanted to take over the city. They blew up the Ozolith. He had to flee. Well, He didn't flee. He had a mental break, and then his Planeswalker Spark ignited, and then he got sent somewhere else.
Oh yeah, you just randomly go somewhere your first time when your Planeswalker Spark ignites.
Right, but if you're one of the main characters, it's always somewhere we know.
That's not true.
I mean, basically. Anyway, let's move to Kaladesh. That was we had just done Battle for Zendikar into Shadows over Innistrad, which, despite what anyone at Wizards will tell you, was a block with 4 sets in it. So Kaladesh was the cooldown from okay, right?
Yeah, Kaladesh kind of is boring. It's playing based on Indian culture, but they didn't really do anything with Indian culture.
Weird racist cards.
That's not even.
That's a downside for me. I don't know. I
mean, that's not what we're discussing about.
No, it's not. But
I mean, I would.
It tarnishes the set. We did get Torch of Defiance, which is amazing. Sahili Rai ended up being really good too.
I mean, the issue here is that we got a couple.
Vehicles were too strong. They didn't balance vehicles properly.
I mean,
energy was way too strong.
Vehicles weren't too strong. Smuggler's Copter was too strong.
Yeah, the Heart of Kirin was pretty dumb too, though.
It was a very good card. It was just a great card. It didn't overrun the format. It was good in one deck.
Yeah. So where do we want to go? Because Kaladesh was fine. I liked the vibe of Kaladesh, but Aether Revolt was horrible.
I didn't like either of them. I don't like Kaladesh.
You didn't like either of them?
I don't like this as a plane. It was just another MacGuffin plane.
Why don't we just throw it on D?
I'd throw it on D with Ixalan.
Yeah, right. That's the same kind of thing. The draft was better, but still, I not too far.
Why don't we do an easy S?
I mean, I wasn't looking in order, but these last 5 are really good.
I mean, why don't we do...
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Dominaria.
Dominaria. The
easiest S we've had.
The original, I mean, it's hard to even sum it up. Every storyline in the beginning, every character is in here. Urza, Gerard, Hannah, Yawgmoth even.
They're all from...
Mishra.
Everyone's from this plane. Most of Magic's history takes place in this plane.
Not at this point, but maybe a third of it.
I mean, a lot of Magic's history takes place in this plane. We have so much going on in it. And, it's not super interesting, but the vast amount that has happened on this plane makes it S tier.
It just has numbers. It has the numbers game over everyone else.
The name, Dominaria, just the name itself holds so much weight in Magic's history that it is easy S tier.
I mean, and we went back, and that set was amazing. It was one of the best draft formats ever.
It was a great draft format.
They nailed that set so much. So we can move on to Innistrad. So this is Innistrad, Dark Ascension, Avacyn Restored, Shadows over Innistrad, and then Eldritch Moon.
So I think all these sets are pretty good.
Avacyn Restore was bad, though.
Avacyn Restore was bad.
Avacyn Restore was the least disappointing because Innistrad and Dark Ascension, wow, nailed it.
It was just
the gothic horror references, the creatures, the humans are losing. They're just fending off. They're just trying to survive.
This is more of a This is a suffering of a 3-block system and not a suffering of the plane, I think.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But Innistrad, I think, is very cool. All the gothic stuff, all the zombies, the angels.
Even the religion aspect was neat.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I love.
But you know what? I'm gonna say, Shadows was the way they wanted to do it was they wanted to go when we return Innistrad, like, something's making everybody crazy. What is it? And everyone's like, oh, it's Emrakul, because we were just on Zendikar. We know Emrakul's not there, and we know that this is likely to just be a thing. But they wanted to waste time. Instead of starting with Emrakul, they wanted to do a whole set that was build up, and that set was bleh.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that.
Eldritch Moon was sweet. They gave us Meld.
There's literally things. Draven Spectre is literally holding like a piece of an Eldrazi in its hand.
Like spaghetti. It's spaghetti. It's holding spaghetti. Everything's the clues shaped like Emrakul. People are talking about Nahiri is getting revenge on Sorin. It's like, I wonder what she's doing.
Oh, spaghetti.
Gotta throw up that artwork. That's one of the best artworks.
Spaghetti again.
Disgusting. Okay, Innistrad though, A,
easy A. I would give it S if it wasn't for the fact that we've done stupid stuff here on this plane. And
yeah,
we've
Shadows, not a fan.
Yeah, we've just wasted the plane in a lot of ways.
Miracle,
the setting is very awesome. I love like the
ghosts, demons, not spirits, zombies.
A lot of undead.
Werewolves. The flip werewolves. I forgot. Flip planeswalker for the first time. Garrick. Lily of the Veil.
And for the second time.
What was the second flip?
Ireland Cord.
Oh yeah,
that
was underwhelming.
Everyone thought that was 6 ability planeswalker or 5, whatever it was.
Who could forget the most disappointing commander they ever made? Ulrich.
Ulrich the bum.
Wow, that was disappointing.
All right, what's next?
How about Ravnica? A set we've been to 3 times.
I think that this is an easy A still.
I think despite all of the failures, Ravnica is just amazing. Talk about introducing the wedges.
You know what?
This introduces the guilds.
I think it's actually S tier.
You think so?
Yeah, because here's my thought. This gives us the guilds. It gives us all of the pairings get a real identity in this set. It deals with all 10. We've gotten Shocklands from this set over and over again, which is great. Shocklands are some of the best lands ever printed. We've gotten a ton of things from the set. We got a lot of cool planeswalkers. War of the Spark, I mean, there's too many planeswalkers, but a lot of them are cool. And it took place in this plane. I think War of the Spark, though the story isn't handled or told the best,
that was pretty epic. There's an epicness to it.
There's an epicness to it. If it was handled much better, it could have been. I mean, it was just, the problem is they were trying to emulate Avengers Endgame, which was a terrible idea to try and do.
I mean, how many MacGuffins were there? We had the Kaladesh one, the Ixalan one. That might have been it. There was one more, right?
I don't know, the MacGuffins.
There might have been something on Theros, but Bolas just picks up these things like...
No, the Eternals are the other part of the MacGuffin.
Yeah, it's like the Infinity Stones. Like, how are they ever going to beat them? Oh, they beat them.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, I would give it S tier.
Sure, we'll bump it up to S. It's got the chops. 9 expansions at this point.
9 expansions, and it holds up. Guilds are really cool. Guilds are a really cool way to build a set, and I wish they could go more in on them, but they don't. They just kind of get scared sometimes in the sets, and they're like... I would like more multicolored cards in the sets.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not too familiar with the first 3, but Return of Ravnica nailed it. Mm-hmm. And then Gatecrash and Dragon's Maze were awful. Like, what happened?
Don't know.
I don't know. Let's do Throne of Eldraine next.
Throne of Eldraine has, for lore, is awesome. It's got absolutely...
Rowan and Kenrith, before they were Planeswalkers, looking for their Elk's dad, who got his crown stolen by Oko.
And then, on top of that, the lore being cool, the flavor is super cool.
The flavor is 100%.
This is an A. I think the reason it doesn't get S is because we don't, again, the set's a one-off. It's kind of cool, and there's a lot of cool aspects and things to it, but it's just a fairy tale plane.
The draft format was amazing.
It's missing 1 or 2 things to really bump it up to an S.
Even Garrick was on there. The trailer was amazing.
That trailer was amazing. Unlike Ikoria, which doesn't give a damn about your bad reputation.
They were like, okay, we're gonna blow your socks off with the War of the Spark trailer, and then we're gonna blow your socks off again with the Throne of Eldraine trailer, and don't worry, then we're gonna make a stupid Theros trailer, and then we're just gonna throw a pop song on Vivian.
Don't give a damn about my bad reputation.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was.
All right, what's next?
You mean the last one?
What's the last
The last one is Theros.
Theros.
For me, this is an S. I think Theros is amazing. Even though we had Theros Beyond Death have no story for no reason.
I think the revisit show makes an A to me because the revisit.
Really, the revisit show that there's still more stuff. We didn't even touch on the Titans. The gods are still doing stuff. They can shuffle the gods around. I love the devotion. I could go to Theros pretty much any number of times.
I mean, I just don't like. I don't mind going back to Theros. I just think they handled it super poorly in the second one. The Titans are cool, but nothing is. There's no story. There's no references, and I really hate.
Well, the story is a redemption. At least you get to see, like, one of my favorite characters, Elspeth, who actually has motivations and an arc and stuff that she wants and a tragic story. Get a redemption. Just kicks Heliod's ass.
All right, I'm on A.
Oh man, I'll give it like a high A, if we can rearrange them like that. Like I just put it as the first one.
So the magic planes are pretty good, and we didn't really have to put too many. There's only one poop tier. Poop tier is going to be a tier that we really hold near and dear.
You need to be extra bad.
You need to be extra bad to really get in the poop tier.
You need to be Ulgrotha.
But there's a lot of cool and interesting planes that we've gone to, and maybe we'll revisit some of them.
Of these planes, what would you most want to return to?
Not Ravnica.
Yeah, not Ravnica. Not Zendikar.
I don't want to go to Zendikar. I don't want to go to Ravnica.
I'm done with Innistrad.
I don't want to see Ikoria for a long time.
Oh, I want to go back to New Phyrexia.
Yeah,
that's where I want to go back to.
I want to go back to Lorwyn.
Let's check in on the Praetors.
Let's go back to Lorwyn and let's.
Why don't they? Because then they could do big set Lorwyn, big set Shadowmoor.
I would love Lorwyn again.
Yeah, hybrid mana, all that stuff.
A lot of cool stuff in that set.
All right, we should probably wrap this up.
All right, so special shout outs to all of our patrons. We overall as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. You guys are great. You guys are the poopy babies, and you help support us every single day. If you would like to join them, you can go to the link in the description below this video. Take that link and join one of the patron tiers. You'll get into our Discord. Lots of other cool perks. Check out some stuff. Get some pins of what we're making new pins for our new logo.
New logo. I'm so happy with the logo. It turned out great. I will say there's a link in the description. You can follow it to TCGplayer. Navigate from there. Buy whatever you want. We get a kickback on the order.
Yes.
Help support the channel.
Yes. So use that link and you'll be supporting the channel. That'd be awesome. We would love that. You guys are the best.
Twitch.
If you can't get enough from me and sometimes never busy, then you can go to Twitch with the link in the description. And I stream weekdays from 10 to 4. I play a lot of M21 Draft. I got all the way up to rank 32 today.
That's insane. We also stream Paper Mario every once in a while.
Yes. We stream Paper
Hence
Mario.
Sometimes when I'm there.
Yeah, that's the sometimes. Not often, but we do when we want to.
Yeah, we try to. We'll put the VODs up somewhere. We don't know if we're going to make a separate channel. We don't know if we're just going to put them on Twitch. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
How about a tidbit?
A tidbit about our lives. So yesterday we opened that box of water.
We opened a box of Dragon's Maze Underwater. First time in recorded human history that's ever been done. It's on our channel, obviously. The thumbnail is Ralzeric in a snorkel.
Yep. So that all the cards are in BZ's room, very damaged. If you're a patron and you want one of those cards, let us know.
Yeah, we're kind of doing a dibs type thing. We're going to send them out in like bigger batches, like 10 or 5 plus.
Yeah. So
because we're not going to mail out like 40 different things.
Oh yeah.
I think that means we're done. Giant yawn.
Giant yawn. That's usually a sign that the video needs to end.
That's how we're going to get subscribers. Is yawning.
Peace out, Tribe Scout.